Selby here with Allison Baker, a third-year kinesiology student at Guelph Humber, and today we're going to be going over a series of stretches, both for the front of the thigh as well as in through the glute and pelvic region. So the first stretch we're going to do is a standing quad stretch. Now, what you're trying to do is really stretch out the front of the thigh. So Allison's going to stabilize herself against the wall to maintain her balance, and she's going to try to bring her heel as far as she can to the back of her leg. And you can clearly see that she can touch without any problem whatsoever. Now, a lot of people, when they do this stretch, they have the knee too far forward, okay? When the knee is in front of the body line, it's not going to be maximally stretching out the quad. The quadricep is 4 muscles. One of them crosses the hip joint. So Allison needs to pull that knee backwards, and she needs to pop her hip forward, try to push the hip into extension to maximally stretch out that quad. Now, as with all the stretches that we've done, you want to ease into a stretch, hold a good 20 to 30 seconds, ease out of it. Bearing in mind that you're not stretching for flexibility prior to performing an activity. You're stretching out for flexibility afterwards or on a different day. You don't want to maximally stretch a muscle and then ask it to work. Now, Allison can also perform this in a sideline position. Go ahead, please, Allison. So if she lays down on her left side, she's going to be stretching out that top leg, the right leg. And this is much better for people if you do have a bit of a balancing issue. Now, if she's going to support herself, she needs to make sure that the elbow is directly under the shoulder with a good vertical relationship. And you don't want to hang on the shoulder. Go ahead and do that, Allison. Don't hang on your shoulder. It's really tough on the shoulder to be doing that. So engage the muscles in and around the shoulder, or you can lay straight down on your side. Okay? Now, Allison's going to reach in behind, grabbing that right foot, trying to approximate the heel right to the back of her thigh, pulling the knee back as she pops that hip forward, really maximally lengthening out that quadricep muscle. Again, ease into the stretch, that 20 to 30 seconds, ease out of the stretch. If you get knee pain though, do not push past a certain degree of flexion or bending of the knee. Don't compromise the knee, stretching out the quad, okay? The next stretch that we're going to do is a stretch that's very effective for deep into the buttock region, the pelvic region. So Allison's going to tuck one foot underneath her, and she's going to get really low with this stretch if she can. She's going to also extend the other leg in behind, and she's really going to be hitting the outside of this hip. Now, some people can get lower and lay right down. Some people are going to be more elevated. Whatever works for you with respect to this stretch is going to work for you. I know for myself, when I do this stretch, I can get quite low into it, okay? So whatever is going to work, if you need to be higher up or if you're lower down, do the stretch so that it works for you. Individualize the stretch. Okay, the next stretch that we're going to do is going to be for the inner aspect of the thigh. It's a adductor or adductor, which brings the knees together. So similar to a hamstring stretch where I want to extend that leg straight, I'm going to try to keep my knees straight with this, but instead of having my leg straight in front of me where I'm bringing the chest to the leg, I'm going to have the leg slightly extended out. So I'm going to bring my right leg out. Now, if I've got my toe pointed up to the ceiling and I find the midpoint between my knees and I can sink down into that, I'm going to feel that right along the outside, or inside rather, of my thigh, the adductors. Now, if I want to vary that stretch a little bit, I can have my foot on the ground and I can sink down into it from this standpoint. So again, I'm hitting the inside of that muscle group. I'm also hitting the hamstring a little bit with this, so I'm getting a little bit more bang for my buck with this exercise. I do feel it into the adductor a little bit more in this position. So again, vary the stretch so that it works for you. Do not take yourself into a position where it's too painful, and go slowly and progressively into the stretch. Stretching shouldn't be an awful experience. You should feel good when you're done it. If you do have any questions, leave a comment below and we will get back in touch with you.